Well, I think we can speak now to Grocon's Chief Executive, Daniel Grollo. Good morning. Thanks for your time. Why did the talks at Fair Work Australia fail last night?
Essentially, the talks that we were deeply disappointed that they failed, but they failed essentially because what was put to us was unacceptable. It essentially asked us to agree to the blockades only ending for 2 weeks, whereby they could recommence if the union couldn't agree. Our point is that illegal blockades that are stopping Grocon employees who are both union and non-union who want to get back to work, because all of them want to get back to work, none of them are on the blockade. Our position is the CFMEU must comply with the orders of the courts and allow our employees back to work.
Bill Oliver from the CFMEU has just told local radio in Melbourne that the union entered the talks in good faith, but that you didn't, and you don't want to resolve this dispute.
That's not correct at all. I absolutely want to resolve the dispute. We want to end the illegal blockading of our sites. It's not good for our business. Our employees want to get back to work for their own livelihoods. I think that allegation, like many, is just baseless.
So what's happening there this morning? I saw some comments that you made to Fairfax Radio that there are some workers that have entered the site?
Correct. There are some workers that have now entered the site. They are both union and non-union, men and women, and they are now on site and subject to whether they will commence work. And
how did they enter the site? Because we understand there's been a blockade there for days.
I won't go into that, other than to say they got in very safely, they feel good, and they're happy that they're back at work.
Why won't you tell us how they got onto the site?
I think that's not helpful, but can I just say, last night Grocon put a position to the CFMEU. We called on the CFMEU to comply with the law of the land, to comply with the courts of New South Wales, Queensland and Victoria. That's not a high hurdle to jump. And then Grocon will engage in the discussions they want to. But ultimately, this is not a concern for Grocon employees. Grocon employees are happy with their terms and conditions. They are happy with their terms of employment. They have an EBA for the next 4 years. They are not on the blockade. They simply want to get back to work.
Are you concerned that those workers that are on the site now could be subjected to retaliation from the striking workers?
I'm absolutely concerned. So there are no striking workers from Grocon. That's very important. That blockade are not Grocon workers. It's not a strike. It's an illegal blockade. We are concerned about intimidation of our employees. We are concerned about intimidation of our employees for the last week and into the future. But as our employees understand, their safety is our paramount concern.
And are they safe on the site at the moment?
Absolutely they are.
Despite the fact that there are thousands of CFMEU workers that have blockaded that area?
Well, what the CFMEU leadership needs to do is call off the illegal blockades, stop illegally blockading our sites, comply with the Supreme Court of Victoria, the Supreme Court of New South Wales and the Brisbane Federal Magistrates Court, and let our people get back to work.
How much longer do you anticipate this blockade will go on for?
Well, I'm not sure. It's important to note, this is not an industrial dispute. This is not about terms and conditions of Grocon employees. Grocon employees want to go to work. This is simply people who have come to our site. We don't know who they are, and they are blocking access to our sites.
And how much is this costing Grocon?
Look, the costs are considerable. They would be north of $500,000 a day. It's difficult to estimate given that the level of disputation across the country continues to grow. So the illegal blockades have spread north. They need to end.